Hey everyone, I wanted to use this video forum to kind of explain some of the differences between discussion board types. One of the common complaints that I hear out of instructors is that they will post a discussion board and they don't really get a whole lot of feedback from students, they don't see a lot of interaction. And so they're looking to sort of bump up the quality of the board. And there are other handouts that will outline how to create a forum, how to actually block other threads from student view until they've posted something once. So those are the tools that can help you with that a little bit. But here we're just going to look at question types. And this is from it's a SEAT workshop. It was one of our Tech Friday events, and it was tools for student engagement. And the discussion board can be one of those that you can get really highly engaged students or not engaged at all, and that really depends on the type of the question. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at, there are 3 different questions all related to the branches of government. So you can see this first one, and the question is just identify the 3 branches of the U.S. federal government. Now, I think most people who are watching this are already somewhat familiar with the fact that this is a horrible, horrible discussion question. Because first of all, you're going to get responses just like you saw out of these 2 people here. There is an answer to that question. And you're not really looking for a discussion question that has a solid answer. The best discussion questions are ones where you're not entirely sure what the answer is, or there are different opinions about it. So obviously that one is not going to be very good because there is one solid response to it. The second question, this is what I tend to see far more often than the first one. I don't see the first one very much, but this one, this type of question is very common. It's which of the 3 branches is least effective in your view and why? And that's not a bad question. It does ask them to recall the content. You have to understand the 3 branches in order to answer that question, and you have to make a judgment. You have to compare and contrast and determine which one is least effective. That's going to give you some other comments here. Judicial branch is most effective. That's the one I hear least about. And which, maybe that guy might want to prompt that one a little bit more. Legislative is least effective because they don't play well together. And, so you can see my jumping in here. And, can you give an example? I say that several times. Do you have an example? If you find yourself having to go back in and prompt them for more information a lot, especially if you're making the same comment over and over. That usually tells you that while this is good and it can go in a few different directions, it may not be quite as robust as you're looking for. And in this particular instance too, what a student can do is review some of the others, and they can give a pretty flat answer and still get away with answering the question. And that may not be exactly what you're looking for either. So the third question, there's just really no dodging this one. So this one's a little more complex. It does ask for content recall for the 3 branches, but the question is, what does the United States mean to you? And this question has 2 parts. Number 1, you need to share with the group a personal story that made you very proud to be an American, or if you're not a citizen, one that made you proud to be affiliated with the U.S. And after reviewing the government hierarchy, which branch do you feel is most responsible for that story? And what is it about the structure of that branch that makes you believe that it's responsible? And then the second one is share a story that made you least proud. And again, which branch do you feel is most responsible? And do you feel something should be changed about the structure as a result of your experience? This is highly, highly personal. So students, one of the things it does is it helps you to get to know your students a lot better. And I was really surprised at the responses that I got. Some people kept it pretty basic. Others really got into incredible detail with, look at this, amazing, dates and really personal experiences. And so it really helped me to learn about the people participating in the training and what their relationship was, with the content, which is really what we're trying to do when we're teaching, particularly a subject like this. But the other thing about this is that they have to understand the 3 branches in the first place. They can't answer the question if they don't. And not only do they need to know all 3 branches, but to answer the second part, what is it about the structure of that branch, they have to really understand what is it about the, say they blame the judicial system for, the moment that made them feel least proud. And so, well, why do you blame that one over the other 2? You have to understand the difference in the structure between judicial and the other 2 branches in order to answer that question. So this one's going to take them a lot more time. They're not really going to be able to cheat their way around this, and they're going to have to provide the content that you need, and then you'll get to know them just a little bit better. So this can obviously be done in a lot of different ways for a lot of different subjects, but what I would really recommend is to share some ideas. Go ahead and put some things like this in the exchange, talk with other people in your department, see if they have some ideas about how we can expand these questions a little bit to get a little more student engagement.